I would like to even before that, I would like to introduce Ravi Kumar Garu. So Ravi Kumar Garu is a former director for training for Geological Survey of India. But even before that, we are very more happy and very important to discuss is that he is the executive committee member of Swecha and a core open source contributor, and he advocates for the open source institute. So he, being as a director for training at GSI, he is the one who started the initiatives of pushing the open source, use of open source in the geoinformatics science as a part of training in Geological Survey of India. Right. So why we are here today, as this day is more of International Geodiversity Day, but what's more important, why it is very more close to Swecha means, as you know that we are all building in this era of as we are in this era of AI, where we are advancing the AI, and as a Swecha we are building Telugu large language models, which has more culturally relevance for India, right? So we are building an AI that understands all of us. As a part of that, the very more important aspects is that, what is the very more important aspect? We are building a culturally and contextually aware AI models, right? So in this aspects of building AI, when we are capturing the corpus and the data which has very more which has to provide very more cultural context to AI, geological and geoinformatics systems is one of the major things that we need to enable for the AI to understand it, right? We as a humans evolved from billions of years, right? And if you see this, for AI to provide a context, we also need to provide the context of how geological information, geological system has been evolved, right? So this is the day that we want to come together and ensure that the next era of AI should be culturally and contextually aware of the geoinformatics systems itself. So the basics of cultural context also comes from the geological aspects, right? So let us all invite our guest formally, and then we'll have a session on this, why we need to have a geological cultural context for the AI. Okay. So as a part of this, currently we are living in the Hyderabad, which is a Deccan Plateau, right? So I think that to provide more historical and cultural context of what does this Deccan Plateau is about, especially in terms of geological aspects, we request Ravi Kumar Garu and the team to provide us the information on that and also lead us in building an AI that understands this cultural context, right? Yeah. So right now I'm just giving
the microphone.
The mic to Ravi Kumar Garu, right? So sir.
That's nice. No, you please put it. Save rocks mean save all the rocks of the world. The world is rocks. Yeah, Ajit Kumar sir. Okay then. Bye. Yeah, don't worry. Do some more trials. I have started the meeting. So, now saving the world is saving the rocks. Because, do you know which is the third rock from the sun? Third rock from the sun? Think about it. You are AI people, come on, don't stop thinking. Third rock from the sun. How many rocks are there from the sun? Venus? No, think. Then, next. Mercury? And then? Earth. The fourth rock is Mars. We are the third rock from the sun. And we have an atmosphere. We don't know where life is, but we are third rock from the sun. And this rock is 4.7 billion years old. That is, a billion has 9 zeros. And 4.7 billion years is a lot of time, but not enough to compete with the Big Bang theory. Do you know the Big Bang theory? The Big Bang theory is a kind of a hypothesis. They believe that the universe is more than 11 billion years old. The universe started from a Big Bang. Let's not go behind that. That is going. So, after the Big Bang, it took nearly more than 6 billion years for Earth to form. Earth was nothing but a lump of rocks and dust and all that. It took so much time to consolidate all the lump of rocks because of the gravitational pull. It all came together. And the day being 24 hours was not there all the time. It is believed initially the day was 6 hours. And it was just a lump of rocks coming together, and it diversified according to gravity or specific gravity. So the core of Earth is the most dense material, nickel. The core of Earth is believed to be nickel, and then iron, and then you have a mantle rock. And then as you come up, we are on the crust. Just like a bread has got a crust, we are on the crust of Earth. And it so happens Hyderabad is on granite crust. Not everywhere granites are there. You have granites here, you have granites in Bengaluru. Have you people heard of Sholay film? Huh? One dialogue is very, very important in that. Which dialogue? Don't know? I'll tell you the dialogue later on. Try to, because you all have mobile phones, try to see which is the dialogue that is so important in Sholay. Now, I have put it here to show what India should be proud of. Because the youngest mountains of the world, they are the Himalayas. And the youngest mountains of the world formed because India traveled northwards. It was the India's tryst with destiny. These are actually the words of Jawaharlal Nehru for independence, on 14th of August, midnight. That's how we got freedom. But this is the tryst of destiny for India itself. So, I have made a small presentation. I tried to make it as interesting as possible. So, now, who is this? Can you see something there? Who is there? There is a girl. That much you can say, but you don't know which girl. She is a geologist. Okay? This particularly I am showing you when India and Eurasia hit each other like this. This happened. This very thing happened, This happened. You know what is this? This is a dough, chapati dough. So when India and Eurasia hit each other like that, it was almost, you see, there you can say God's fingers with some nail polish. And God made almost a dough of all that. And then the actual, you can see this is a fold. Do you agree that is a fold? You can see this is a fold, this is a fold. Now, a fold on earth. Can you imagine that? Rocks are folded like that. You can imagine the amount of pressure that has gone into it. And it is in Himalayas. She is my colleague. Of course, she is far younger than me. She shared her photograph with me. This is from a Himalayas known as Kumar Himalayas. They are near Nainital. Anybody from North India? Okay, one guy. Somewhere nearer to Himalayas? No. Okay, so and we go to what is known as geotourism. I am a storyteller. After my retirement, I have taken to open source very seriously. I have been coding, trying to even meddle with some Python. Earlier, in the 1980s, I was a Visual Studio expert. Sorry, that was on Microsoft. But then Linux was not there. It was 1987.
That's the reason I asked them how many of you are using Linux.
Yes. I have put Microsoft now because my friends will come up with a pen drive and their presentation won't work. My system is dual booting, Ubuntu, and I have put now Windows. So we were there. This gentleman I was talking with, his name is Ajit Kumar. The other man took a photograph, he is Samuel Sukumar. We were all there at Dehradun. We are trying to make basic geotourism information. We have collected a lot of information around the country since 5 years. I have collected for Andamans, collected for Karnataka, collected for Andhra Pradesh, Gandikota and so many other places. And North India, this is the place. It's a different matter that my alma mater is in Dehradun. That's why I went there. I don't think I have to explain what is alma mater. So, what is this? This you all know it. So from Dehradun, I lived to Birla Museum. I showed you that India came like this. When India was coming like this fellow was there on India. He was there on India because it was maybe a weight of more than 50 million years old between him and me or us. This fellow is about 65 million years old. This is a fossil. This is a fossil of a dinosaur found in Adilabad, Telangana, our own Telangana, very close to Sirpur, Kagasnagar, Ramagundam coalfields, very close. So it is named after, generally we name after the villages nearby, so that we need not tell them. It is known as Kotasaras Yamanapalliensis. Yamanapalli is the village where the total skeleton was found, the head not found. It is a sauropod. Sauropods are vegetarian dinosaurs. All dinosaurs are not non-vegetarian. The vegetarian dinosaurs, they used to eat rocks. Can you imagine they used to eat rocks? You know why? Rocks help them digest. So they go and swallow huge rocks on the riverbed, which are very round and all that. because inside, the rocks digest their food. And naturally, all vegetarians like the elephant. They're very tall and well built and all that. The non-vegetarian animals, those who are not vegetarian, I should say, not non-vegetarian, not herbivorous. The other one? Omnivorous. So the omnivorous animals are always small, because if you want to fight, you cannot be huge. You cannot fight if you are huge. Anyway, we will come back to this. This is for Birla Museum. And this is a fossil of elephant. Still a question mark for me. Because this is much, much, much younger. It is found in the coal seams at Ramagundam coalfields. It should not be there. So this is left to AI. So we will get all the information, and this is a question I want to solve with artificial intelligence. How this has come, because my friends who are in paleontology, Indian Paleontological Society secretary, my very close friend and colleague, he told me, Ravi, this cannot come from there, but this is found there. So this is a big question mark. So this kind of elephant you don't find now. You see its tusks, they almost touch the floor. And you can actually see the original tusks here. They are now kept in the Birla Museum. They are kept in the Birla Museum. So now we come to what I want to, because I wanted to give you a build-up before actually coming to geodiversity. Geodiversity is nothing but all the diversity on earth. In this room, there is nothing which has not come from earth. We generally don't think that way, but if you see, there is nothing in this room which is not part of earth, including the electrical wires, including the plastics, this bottle, everything has come from earth. So everything is from geodiversity. We are from earth. We eat rice that grows on soil which is derived from the rocks. Here at Hyderabad, Musi, all the sand is derived from granites. So remember it. That is the main thing of geodiversity. Conserving the past, sustaining the future. Geoheritage, geotourism. Dream of an Indian geopark. In India, we don't have what are known as geoparks. We don't have. The concept of geoparks has come in 2015. That is about 10 years ago. Even a country like Thailand, where you can go without a passport, has 2 geoparks. Your mentor Ranjit, he has gone to Philippines. It has got 3 geoparks. Most of the countries have geoparks. Now, what are geoparks? Geoparks are a concept released by UNESCO. So, our dream, me as a geologist and all of you, we must have a geopark in India, because geopark is a bell that international tourism waits for it. If you have a geopark, then you will have very responsible tourism, and tourists will pour down to do some tourism which is totally responsible and educative. So let's see how we go about that. So I have taken a very simple example. If you have a plant in a, what? In Hindi it is a gamla. Yes, in a pot. So in a pot you have soil. Soil is derived from rock. And in that, what grows is life. So geodiversity is nothing but how different rocks make different life forms grow on them. Yeah. So this is late 2015, this has happened, and a lot of blah 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 is there. Don't worry about this. Next. Yes. Here, this is Global Geopark Network. You see, this is in Asia. Slow. So, this is in Asia. You can see it. All those red flowers, they are the geoparks. You can see in Africa and Europe. Next. And then in North America, you don't have. But in China, you must have seen it. It came. 41 geoparks are there. One thing China has and we don't have is, China can do what it wants, unlike India. We are like, overnight you cannot make a geopark. But China said, we will make geoparks, and they made geoparks. And the communities there are given the charge of the geoparks. They are told that this entire geopark is your property. What you earn is yours. And there was a very good competition between geoparks, and within a short span of about 5 years, they have made 41 geoparks. It is one of the very good destinations for geoparks. Now, geology means this. I am not hypnotizing you, but we are going back in time. Now, I want to put some masala also for you, because it should not be boring. You know what this is? From where? Anybody knows this? In India, very close to us in Telangana. This one. This is from Ramappa temple. It is also known as Brihadiswaralayam. It is a UNESCO almost nearly accredited site. Now, she has a bow. I think all the girls here must, those times, it is something in 13th century or 14th century. A woman is having a bow. And somebody is removing a thorn from her leg. Okay? It's such a nice sculpture. And if you touch this sculpture, it is so nice that you cannot imagine that more than so many years ago, how many? It was in somewhere in 13th or 14th century. They have made such a nice sculpture. It's so nice. Now, where I come in is, it is a dolerite. The rock is dolerite. And it is there in Hyderabad. It is there in what is known as a forest trek park near Chilkuru. If you go inside the park, you can see it. It's a dark rock. It is not like granite. It is very fine grained. With granite, you cannot make sculptures like this, because a fine grained rock only can really give you an intricate sculpture. Next, please. Yeah, that is the dolerite. Next. Yeah. Now, this is granite. I told you that. Sholay. It is right here. Next. You see, the dialogue is, kitne aadmi the? Do you remember? Recently also it has become very famous. Gabbar Singh, he asks, kitne aadmi the? I think now we will ask, kitne geopark hai? Ek bhi nahi. Go ahead. So, yeah, now let us go back to something about Earth. We take granted that the continents are Earth, isn't it? We almost think that continent is Earth. But 2/3 of Earth is water. It is 1/3 is continents. And it is 475 million years ago, you had the first plants on the continents. The continents nearly waited for 4 billion years for something to happen on the continents. After that, Go back, just one back. After that, the continents became green. But you know, the continents were not like that, because they were something else. I'll show you somewhere else. So these are the first plants. You know, you can actually do some Googling and you can find it. What are the first plants? But you know, the lichen you find on granites, here I showed you, they are much older than this. Much older. The billions of years older, because they are microscopic fungi. Fungus and plants, there is a difference. Next. So this is something that was going on in a period known as Devonian, 4.2 million years ago. And this was happening in Telangana. So the first plants started coming, and these plants are not teak, are not sal, are not flowering. Flowering plants came much, much later. Next. Yep. So this is a scene in Nirmal, Telangana. There is a story by the geologists. There was this group of geologists from Indian Institute of Statistics, which is at Calcutta. They also have a geology wing. They came in search of dinosaurs and various other vertebrates. They were told, after spending nearly a month by their own laborers, sir, I think what you are searching for is there in a temple. Then they said that, you mean that what you are searching for, how do you know? Sir, I saw that you are taking bones and all that. And they went to a place and they have found in a temple 2 fossils are being worshipped. 2 complete fossils are being worshipped. They are very rare. They are there in the Geological Survey of India Museum now. So they went and requested them that they also made puja and all that. So we want, you have 2 gods, please give us 1 god. We will not destroy it, we will make it more popular. Because everything is God. So that way there is no issue. So they were given. And from that, the science further advanced. These are all various others. Go to the next. This is the find of this Indian Statistical Institute, geologists. Because they belong to Calcutta, they named it as Bada Paw Saras. Bada means big, Paw means foot, Saurus for dinosaurs. And it is one of the biggest sauropods. And its skeleton is not here in Hyderabad, it is in Calcutta. It is at the Indian Statistical Institute, Calcutta. Next. Now, this is Kotasaurus. This is another skeleton which I showed you earlier. It is there in Birla Museum. Both are sauropods. Both are herbivore dinosaurs. Next. Yes, the same thing in a different. Next. Yeah. Now, let us come to this. India, as it moved, there is a continent named after the tribes of Telangana, known as Gonds. You know, Gonds are a very mighty tribe. They are in Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, because all these states meet there. So this Gondwana land was a big continent of which India was a part. I am not going to show you Gondwana land, but I am going to only show the trajectory of India when it was moving northwards for the tryst with destiny. Next. So there was this boat, that is India. Next. And there were a lot of dinosaurs on that. And with the dinosaurs it was moving. And moving at a fantastic speed. The fantastic speed is 4.5 centimeters per year. For continents, that is a fantastic speed. Match winning speed almost. Next. So, when it was moving, the top speed it reached is almost 15 centimeters after it stepped on fire. When India was moving, there is a place known as Reunion Island. Actually, you can even Google it now. This place is still a volcanic island. We call it in geology as hotspots. So, just like you have got a duppati or a chaddar and you are putting a chaddar on fire. You drag it, what happens? The chaddar will catch fire. Next. This is what has resulted. These are the Deccan traps. They are about 11,000 feet thickness, about 3,400 meters high. Our entire Deccan plateau is that.
I mean, no need to shake your hand.
Anyway, you see, I was telling them stories much more difficult. They heard of the dinosaurs. Here is my boss, Ajit Kumar, who retired as the boss of Geological Survey of India at Hyderabad. And my very close friend, Dr. Samuel Sukumar. Okay, they took some time. Geologically, even a day is nothing. So I can say, we only talk of millions of years. But I'm very happy geologists always make it. You can see it. They are
We
going.
paid the price for Ravi's impatience.
Yeah. So, such a big thing piled up. Next. These are slowly, just backwards, just one step back. Yes. Now you are all at Hyderabad and only granites. You go to this place, Pocharla waterfalls, you find a wonderful waterfall and also the Deccan traps, which are basic rocks. I told you that India came on a fire. It resulted this and those hills. Those hills belong to Pune. They belong to all the places, Ahmednagar, even Mumbai. That is much of Madhya Pradesh, much of Gujarat. It is them. Next. This is the famous Pocharla waterfall. You see, in between I am showing you all this. I am going to entice to you all to what is known as geotourism. You see what happens next. Next please. Yes. Just like when you load a truck with something lighter at the bottom and then something heavier at the top, and the truck is going fast, what happens? Automatically something heavier will try to come down and something lighter will try to go up. That's what has happened. The entire Deccan plateau, thanks to the Deccan volcanism, the entire Deccan plateau got uplifted. That's how we don't sweat. Though they really had a bad time, they are not sweating. That's because of the Deccan plateau, 512 meters above the mean sea level. Pune and Hyderabad same. Whereas Bengaluru is still 300 meters, about 3000 meters above. That's why Bengaluru, probably you even need a small sweater at this time of the year. It is all part of Deccan plateau. And up to Ooty. Ooty, there is a highest point in entire South India is known as Doda Betta. Doda in Kannada means big. Dodda Betta. Betta is Telugu also same thing, hill. Next please. So this is the Doda Betta of Ooty. Next. Yeah. Next. Yeah, that is Munnar. In between there is a cut. It is known as Palghat Gap. There is a cut. It is near Coimbatore. And then you go south, again you have tea gardens, Munnar and all that. Next please. Yeah, now here is the bait for you. This is the bait. What is that? Go ahead, next. Now let us see. You know, as a very simple way, this is how geology goes. The youngest to the oldest. And we, the human beings, who are the descendants of an ape which looks like a chimpanzee, we were here at almost at the top of the stack. Now let us see compared to Telangana. Go ahead, next. This is Telangana, next. So you have the dinosaur there, and to which year? Next. It belongs to Jurassic Triassic. Next. And you have these coal mines which are much south in Khammam, in Bhadrachalam, and also at Ramagundam North. Next. They belong to this. Next. And these are the rocks. And this, in fact, is an icon for society to save rocks. It belongs to, next, that. It belongs to what is known as Archean, 2.5 billion years old. And we take a bus ride. Go back and again forward. So, we can plan what is known as a geotourism. I invite you all, let us discover geotourism in Telangana. It will be very, 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 very interesting. We just need one night halt and we can do it. Let's plan it using AI. Next. Yeah, 1 minute. So, this is the Sharbat Ka Pyala. Yeah. So,
Thank you. No. Thank you.
yeah. So you can see geoparks are nothing but geology, archaeology, environment, and anthropology. Anthropology is science of us, human beings. So we have some wonderful suggestions here. At Hyderabad, we can have granite geopark because there are only two places in India. One is Hampi. You have got fantastic balancing rocks. Other is Hyderabad. Other places like Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh also you have some granites, but not rivaling our granites. So then at Singareni we can have a coal geopark. Coal geopark, this is the Sattupalli mine, which is the largest of the Singareni mines. And very close to it there is a place known as Munuguru, very close to Bhadrachalam. You have hot water through which you can make electricity already being done. Hot springs are there. 80 degrees centigrade. How much, Sukumar garu? 82 degrees centigrade. He is a geologist. He worked there. So, we can straight away plan for 3 geoparks. So, we can make it at state level. We make it ourselves first and then present it to the state tourism department. Because unless some revenue comes, no government will accept. They will clap for you, they will cut ribbons for you, but they will not do anything. You have to show them that there is a revenue. Then they will come forward. Next please. Yeah. Have I touched the Himalayan peak? I want to touch the Himalayan peak. I was at Dehradun and they are the Himalayas and that peak is known as Trishul. So it is a kind of trick photography. I just held my finger and it is taken like that. So next, that's it. So now you know my both colleagues and friends and boss, Ajit Kumar sir and Sukumar sir are there. They will now, the most important part will be by Ajit Kumar sir and Sukumar sir. His would have been the number one, then my talk and his. So I would request him, Ajit Kumar sir, to kindly present. Yeah. Geologist, and he retired as number 2 in entire geological. We will become that. And Ajit Kumar sir is passionate about Earth. He has got a YouTube channel known as Bhuraksha. You can see. He is very passionate about that every week he gives. And he is totally, I think we have to hide this. He is totally against. Now, I think anyway, I'll keep it that way. You look at it. And Mrs. Shalini Ajit, she has a YouTube channel for culinary expertise, cooking. So they are both experts. And he is a prolific speaker. He was speaking even in junior chambers. Which one?
Yeah.
Junior chambers. And he simply is a very good speaker, and I won't be between you and him. Please.
Thank you, Ravi, for a nice introduction and facilitating our delay by 1 hour. You know, my talk is something like, you know, if you're reading a novel, a suspense novel, thriller, and you start by reading the last chapter, you don't have to really read the novel because you know what the plot about. So I was supposed to introduce the topic and Ravi was to conclude it, but it went to the reverse. It's something like seeing a movie from backwards, you know, and then getting introduced to the cast of characters. I thought of something, and in the irritability of driving with the help of the Google map, which had been consistently misleading us, and compounding that confusion was Ravi. So I literally forgot of what I wanted to speak. Let me start with with a little experience of what happened with me, the real life situation that I experienced. I went to a bank to get my daughter-in-law registered as a third account holder in a joint account which is held between me and my wife. We have become pretty old, so we thought a third person should be there, so that you know, after our demise, the money reaches the right hand at the right time. And then, you know, the first reaction of the guy on the other side of the table was, no, you cannot do it. And then somehow I told him that it's possible. So he clicked some buttons on his computer and he said, yeah, you just tell me, I'll fill up the form. Then I said, I gave him the name of my daughter-in-law. And then he said, what's her income? I said, I don't know. The third question he asked me was, is she married? And my reaction was, normally in India, daughter-in-laws are married. Okay. That's high technology. I can understand that man was so engrossed by filling the form that really stopped thinking about what it means to be a daughter-in-law. Right. The very concept of geoparks that we are talking about, and the concept of geotourism, the Geological Survey of India has, for the last several decades, been identifying, sites of geological interest, which we called as National Geological Monuments. We have actually published a volume on that. Pre-electronic days, a volume was published, which is available with the Geological Survey, which covers a large number of monuments. And then with the advent of technology, Sukumar has been contributing a lot. We have now a YouTube channel also, the Geological Survey of India, where you can probably see a total picture of all the geological monuments spread across the length of the breadth of the country. You see, there are only two professions in this world, not just in India, who literally go to the most remotest places and visit them and live through those places. One is the army and the other is the field worker like geologists and people like the Survey of India. 170 years, the Geological Survey of India, the second oldest in the world. We have traveled on the length and breadth of this country. Hundreds and hundreds of people have covered every inch of this land in great detail. Now, as a geologist, our main interest is to look at the ground and try to understand the history of the place, of the geological history of the place. And basically, the final objective is human. That is to see that if we can find resources for the benefit of the country. And we have been extremely, extremely successful. We have probably got the richest deposits of iron ore in the world. We have got the richest deposits. Coal we can use for another 100 years. We have got the best of bauxite deposits in the world. We have not even scratched the surface. We have got limestone deposits which can last 1,000 years. If cement is the only resource you have, name it. We have probably some of the best dimension stones in the world. In the process of this activity, we come in very close contact with other aspects of the place. Like we meet people, we live with tribals. We don't meet tribals, we live with tribals. So anthropology, I mean, I worked for a very short period of 3 years in the Bundelkhand area, and I could pick up and talk to the Gond tribals there in their local language, eat their food, share their values with them. The same thing, let me actually narrate an incident that happened with me. I was camping in a place where, I accidentally saw there was a Ashokan pillar. And, the very fascinating thing about the Ashokan pillar is that is Ashoka was BC, that is about close to 2,500, 2,700 years. And even today, the Ashokan pillars have not rusted. The Ashokan pillars have not rusted. No metallurgist has been able to find out the reason of why they do not rust. You buy a stainless steel bottle, within 3 months you start getting rusting on your bottle. This has stood outside in the open for 3,000, 2,500 years with not a single stain of rust on it. I asked the local villagers and I said, what is this? They said, Bhim ki lat. You got me? What is Bhim ki lat? Bhim from the Mahabharata. Bhim was supposed to be a gigantic person. And Bhim ki lat means the stick of Bhim, or normally Bhim was handling a gada. So they thought that the gada of Bhim. Then I asked some of the students there, small school children playing around. They were inquisitive of what we are doing, with their hair. We look very jokerly characters with a cap on and with a magnifying glass around her neck, very awkward looking clothes, and with a magnetic compass, it's called a Brunton compass in their hand. They look like real buffoons. So the boys around us, they get inquisitive and ask us all kinds of questions. And sometimes we give them very funny answers. So the boy asked us, I asked those boys, I said, what is this? And they also said it is Bhim ki lat. And I was a little confused. What do you mean? I said, school ko jate ho? Bole, haan, jate hain. And then I said, ye tumko kaun bola ke Bhim ki lat hai? तो बोले हमारी टीचर बोली है कि भीम की लाट है. Now that is the awareness that was, I'm talking of 1970, things might have changed, but that is the kind of awareness that we are talking about. Now, what is the concept of geotourism or geoheritage? And geoheritage, geotourism or geobiodiversity, geodiversity is the mother of all diversities. All diversities emanate from geodiversity. In the sense, the earth dictates. I mean, when you talk of, if you talk in terms of the Indian systems of science, the Panchadhutas or the Panchabhutas, the same thing. Everything comes from the earth. So, if you're talking of geotourism or geodiversity, our attempt is to integrate all the elements of that particular place. Say, for instance, we went to the Andamans. Starting from the natural geology of the place, the biological components of the place, that is the animal and plant life, the anthropology of the place, that includes the culture. Mind you, all these are dictated by the word geo. So we want, our concept is that all of us are working on one aspect of this particular area. Lot of excellent work has been done by the anthropological survey, which is as old as the geological survey. Thanks to the British. The concept of geotourism, I am not going into detail because Ravi has really gone into detail and Sukumar is going to cover a third aspect. The concept of geotourism is to integrate all these elements and present to the tourist or the Indian citizen or the world citizen a total picture of the place. So, in case you visit Andaman Nicobar Island, there's an island called the Batang Island, where you have to travel through in Andaman, you have to travel through a belt of a forest track, a few tens of kilometers, which is inhabited by some of the very old tribal communities, and there are strict restrictions on your traveling. You're not supposed to get down from your car. The tribals are so beautifully protected, and at the end of the island you come across you cross in a ferry and you go and see the islands. Here is a combination. At the end of the at the other end of the water, you have some limestone caverns, And inside those limestone caverns, you see some of these swallows building their nests on the walls of these limestone caverns. You have to go through a part of the backwaters of the sea, which are mango swamps. And mango swamps are rich in biodiversity. The mango swamp itself is a beautiful natural habitat, and you see lovely, very specific birds and other creatures in this. So, what really happens is, we've seen thousands and thousands of tourists who were traveling with us. People go there and just experience, enjoy this beautiful scenery. What probably is not is what is missing is the connectivity, is the science or the awareness of that place, which adds a beautiful dimension to your travel, particularly young children. I mean, youth like you. When you travel, or even if you take a lonely planet and go through it, you would realize that the lonely planet will describe to you in great detail the cultural sites of the place. It will describe you all the eatery place and etc. and all that. It hardly describes to you the nature around you. The natural surroundings of the place are not narrated to you. So the concept of geotourism is to integrate all this. And we are, to a large extent, we have already done a lot of groundwork. There is a team of colleagues of ours, most of us retired geologists of the Geological Survey and scientists from various other organizations. We are interacting with several, thanks to the indomitable energy of Ravi. We are all working together. The people working right from the Himalayas down south to even Tamil Nadu. The next month we are in Karnataka, covering the heritage sites of right from Hampi to Bangalore. We are going to travel by road. The youngest person in the group will be about 65 years old. Okay. So that's the spirit behind us. I'm just 78 years old. Okay. And I'm really enjoying the experience in spite of being late, because in the last 45 years, I have not been able to speak for so long without a punctuation at home. So thank you very much for giving me a patient hearing. My whole idea was to introduce the topic to you. Geotourism is something, it's a new concept all over the world. India hasn't got a geotourism site so far. And probably, let me end by narrating an incident which I totally forgot. I was in Singapore in the last leg of my journey, which I undertook with Thomas Cook. We covered three countries, Thailand, Malaysia and Singapore. It was probably the last day of our travel. And I was sitting with the tour managers, about 4 or 5 of them. And one of the tour, I was waiting for somebody to come and pick me up. So the tour manager, when we were just gossiping, and he said, "Saab, मैं आपसे एक बात पूछूं?" मैं बोला, "हाँ भाई, बोलो क्या बात है?" He said, "साहब आप यहाँ 10 days हमारे साथ घूमे हो और 10 दिन में आप काफ़ी पैसा खर्च करके हमारे साथ घूमे हो। अब एक बात बोलूँ, आप ये 3 कंट्रीज में आप कौन सी चीज़ देखे जो हिंदुस्तान में नहीं है?" Then I told him that I am really regretting of having taken this journey, because I thought that I've got much better sites in India than I've seen in all these 3 countries. Most of the places in Singapore, most of the places are artificial. For instance, let me again, something that surprised me. The Secretariat of, Malaysia is a replica of the Arts College. The pillars, the architecture, more or less the same as the Arts College, but that country was using solar in 1970. When did I go? Probably after my retirement, somewhere between 2007 I retired. Probably sometime in 2007, 2009, solar energy was being used liberally in that country. And Malay is far, far cleaner than any part of India. Any part of India. So here is a potential. I mean, again talking about the earth. India is one country which has got every climatic zone in the world. India has got a geological spectrum from the oldest to the youngest. No other country in the world can talk about. No other country in the world. You can forget country, no other continent can talk about. So that is the kind of diversity that this country has. This is the kind of diversity of human content we have. And probably what we are not, what you people are, I think there are several videos now coming on I'm overshooting my time. There are several videos that are coming about Trump's decisions and how Trump is going to fail. There is a beautiful talk by Barack Obama. And Barack Obama says India is the country of the future. If you have to look at development, look at India. And he mentions 5 centers of development in the world. And what are those 5 centers? I am sure many of you have seen that video. The 5 centers he is mentioning are Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Delhi, Pune. This is 4. Delhi, ORR, Pune. One more, I think it's Chennai. Bombay is not on the list. And he said these are 5 countries, and he has made it a comparison. He says Hyderabad was a very laid-back city, famous for its biryani, etc. And today, Hyderabad is what I saw today. He said this is the place full of youth, full of energy, who are now writing their own future. Now, that is where you all come about. You can create probably the best geotourism centers of the world. And India can top the list where now we are at the bottom. Thank you very much. Probably this is what I spoke was something that I had not planned. And what I had planned, I forgot on my way here. Thank you so much.
Very, very important components of geology. So he is going to give you a very elaborate presentation. I am also looking forward to seeing it.
So good evening everybody. First of all, let me say sorry. We were driving in the car and singing the song, Here We Go Around the Mulberry Bush. We were just roaming around here only. One small mistake, we are on some flyover. To get down somewhere else it was dropping us, and again saying go left, go right. And after coming here also, this lane we missed. We went a little further, again had to go further and again come back. Okay. So I retired as director from the Geological Survey of India, and for your information, GSI has 6 regions, administrative regions, and in which southern region is the biggest region with 5 states. And we train our own geologists who join from the universities after passing out from the UPSC. They come and join, and you know where they join? They join here in Hyderabad, because the All India Training Institute headquarters here is in Hyderabad. They first join here, then we have centers all over the country. They travel, even I had training, he had trainings. So for 11 months we have a Bharat Darshan training. We go around in the country to different centers of different fields. Okay, first let me find out how many of you visited Tirumala? Huh? You visited? Okay. Any Bengalis in this group? Anybody from Calcutta? Okay. All of you who have gone to Tirumala must have missed these 2 national monuments which are there in Tirumala. One you won't miss because it is called the Natural Arch. You must have seen a natural bridge. Then followed by, when you climb Tirumala, there is a hill prominently seen with a slope. Okay? So I will be showing those photographs. Now this year under UNESCO, we are taking these 7 sites into UNESCO. That's why we are celebrating it today. Now the first one is this Natural Arch, Tirumala Hills, the Eparchian Unconformity, Vishakhapatnam, Erramatti Debbalu, the Kerala's Varkali Cliff, the columnar basalts of St. Mary's Island, then the Deccan Traps of Panchgani, Mahabaleshwar, Maharashtra, the Meghalayan Age Caves, Meghalaya, the Naga Hill ophiolites. Now let's take pride, because in the 7, if we count, actually 4 of them are going from the southern region. This is the Natural Arch formed. It's a natural bridge. As a student in graduation, there never used to be a fence here. We were taken on geological trips, so I myself have climbed on this. Like that, people started climbing. Now they have fenced it, and the forest department takes care of this. This is naturally formed bridge. It is there up on Tirumala. Now this hill you must have seen. Which is this one? This is the Tirumala Hills. Your vehicle goes down like this and the Ghat section takes. Now between, this is a part which is sedimentary, followed by a granite. You can see this type of formations right from Kurnool. So we as a geologist, we call them as sedimentary Kadapa supergroup, followed by the Archeans. Now between the granite and the sedimentaries, there is a gap of 2000 million years, which is world over called as the Eparchian Unconformity. So next time when you go to Tirumala, just walk on the Ghat section. The first hairpin bend, you will find these bilingual boats. These boats must be aged more than 50-60 years. They are not painted, they are enamel boards, and with all the information of this Eparchian Unconformity. I am a life member of the Deccan Birders, and when you go to Tirumala this time, you will find this squirrel there. It is used to people now because it is getting some fruit or something. But it will be nice if you see them actually in the wild. This one has become more attached to people. Tourists who come, they just feed it. And don't feed them. That's a crime actually. Okay, this is called the Erramatti Debbalu of Vishakhapatnam. It's a bad land. Soil is red, silty soil, and very good for plants. So they have machinery now, they simply dig this, take it off to their plants. Some of them you cannot climb, they will be so high. The Varkala cliffs. This is
Give them an idea of what that environment is.
it's a loamy, silty soil, and then it is already formed, and then it is carved out, rather weathered out, and you find these things like huge heaps.
And this is quaternary in age.
Quaternary in age, just 2 million years.
Probably few million years.
1 or 2 million years.
2 million years.
So this is a new one which is now designated as a national monument in Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala, which is called the Varkala place. And here you see the close up, because there are lumps of clay and lignite, a coal type material, and now this is unique. So whenever you go to any place on tourism or pilgrimage, anything, first you should make up your mind, what should I see, what will I see? Okay, some of these questions. So I asked our newly joined geologists who join here in Hyderabad, I generally show them this, and as a geologist, what happens is, we are always looking on the ground, either to see a mineral or to see a rock type. So I used to tell my newly joined officers, don't always see on the ground. For some time, look up. And I used to show them different birds and butterflies of our own campus. We have a 300-acre campus. So I didn't know that it went so nicely into the young people. I went on a tour to Jaipur. One lady officer came and showed me in her cell phone a bird which is a pigeon. She says, "Sir, iska naam bataiye." So I told him, this is a yellow footed pigeon. Then I asked her, do you do this? She said, whatever lecture you gave there, I am following it in the field. For some time I see up also and enjoy. So this is what a geologist's luck is, that he is in the wilderness and also enjoying. Now this is also another national monument, which is called the Columnar basalt. This is of Karnataka. These are columnar basalts which are hexagon shaped. I think Ajit, Ravi Kumar had shown you some of them. Like that, there are at several places, even in Telangana, there are some places where these columnar basalts are. When we are going to Tirumala, on the way at Mangampet, there is this mine, now mined by the APMDC, Mining Development Corporation. Now this is barite, which is barium sulfate. This is also a national monument. This one is so deep, almost 600 to 700 meters you have gone. It is barium sulfate which is heavy. It's used as a drilling mud, and if it is found as white material, it is used for making your paper heavy. It is used in paints and also used in medical this thing as barium sulfate. Now this is the second world's largest mine. I have been inside. Any mine, they don't allow your vehicle to go inside. They take you in their vehicles, because there are, all these things are like ghat roads. By the time you come down to this place where there is water, Tamil Nadu. This is another national monument which is called the National Fossil Wood Park, 80 feet long tree trunk. When you go to Tamil Nadu, you can visit this. It is in Satanur. Another fossil park we have for wood is at Thiruvakkarai. This is in Chennai. I asked people whether they are from Calcutta. None of them are from Calcutta. So who was the founder of Calcutta? his tombstone is from this rock here. Okay, it's a greasy looking hyperstein granite, and very near to the airport is your Thomas Mount. All that Thomas Mount is hyperstein, this thing which is called Charnockite. Now his tomb is in Calcutta, and his tombstone is this, which is there, and that stone has come all the way from Pallavaram in Tamil Nadu to this Calcutta, and he is the founder of Calcutta. His name is Jobs Charnock. Again, another place in Tamil Nadu which are called Karai Badlands, full of fossils. If you want to search, you can search. Yeah, Karai hai. Another building stone which is generally used, because here we use granite, in Kerala they use this, which is laterite. When it is fresh, it allows you to cut, and once it dries up, it becomes hard. And this is the monument which is built, called the laterite in Angadipuram, Kerala. Many of you must have gone to the Bengaluru Lalbagh Gardens. Did you go? So did you see this one? It is the oldest rock here, which is called the Peninsular Gneissic Complex. So everywhere our boards are there with information on what it is and all that. This is very near to your Kolar goldfields. It's called a pyroclastic rock, and it's on the border of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana in Karnataka, which is called pyroclastic rocks. This is again a volcanic material. The moment magma comes out, and suddenly if it goes into water, it forms like a pillow. So these are the pillows. One by one they will be tumbling and falling into the water and immediately getting cooled. So you can see the chilled margins here. And then there are holes through which gases have escaped. There is a place in Maridahalli in Karnataka where we have our monument, and we have one in Venkatampalli near Guntakal, again a pillow lava. So I will take you into a cave now. How many of you have visited Betamcharla? So next time when you go, make a plan, you go. Now there is a heavy rush, people are going right till Gandikota, which is called the Grand Canyon of India, where the Pennar river flows through the Gandikota quartzites. Now there is a cave here. I and my colleague visited it in 2015. We couldn't enter because there is so much of bushes there. This is in 2018. They cleared a little. This is now at 2023. Now something went inside, disturbed everything, and the latest information that I have is they have completely put concrete, and they are developing this cave for tourists, and they are already collecting 50 rupees as entry fee. The rock type which you see here is limestone. So we as a team, we went in 2023, see the beautiful arches there. I always see the second phase, what is living inside. Now when you go there to Betamcharla and ask for this Bella Sorangam, nobody will tell you, because it has a local name. It's called Paurala Gavi. Gavi means cave. These limestone ledges are home to the feral rock pigeons. Okay. Now 2015 when I went inside, all birders, we are all fascinated with raptors. I saw this bird flying outside in the cave. So tried to photograph that when it is in flight. I missed it. Then I was thinking, what should I do? It should be flying somewhere around. When we went inside, it was sitting on one of the stalactites. It's called the Bonnell's eagle, so big that it can carry a goat kid. Even it picks up foxes. It's the mode of operation is it picks it up, takes it high and leaves it, and the goat or whatever is there which falls down on the ground dies, and then it feasts on it. Stalactite, the same stalactite. It's a really beautiful cave that you can see inside. Okay, now we go into biodiversity. So, I will give you a homework now, because as faculty in the training institute, we treat our officers as students only to disorient them from the college and then make them to be professionals. So, we used to give them homework, we give them examinations, all sorts of things. What I showed you about the national monuments, I have filmed the whole of South India and it's on YouTube. You can just type rock treasures. It is in 5 parts, one part of the by the other, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 you can see, all the states it covers, plus not only the national monuments, I have covered some of the unique rocks found in some of these areas, and it comes with the explanation. You can enjoy it. Okay, that's your homework and I know you will do it. Now, this is the map of India with the relief. The biodiversity here is, the first one is the Himalayas, the second is the Western Ghats, and the third is the Suda land, which is down from Andaman, Nicobar and still down. The fourth one, the Indo-Burma region, where we have no access, so I am not showing that. Okay. What to observe under geotourism? First point, unique rocks. You must have not seen that rock anywhere, but you are seeing at that place. So, this time when you go, you try to photograph that. So, when you are photographing it, either put a coin or you can put your lens cap for scale, and that you can bring that and show it to some of us. We will tell you from where it is. Okay. Then the natural resources. Unknowingly or knowingly, many of the natural resources are discovered by geologists. Many of the elements that are there in the periodic table are discovered by geologists. The next one is the flora and fauna. Now, flora and fauna changes as per elevation. The lower plains, the flora is different, and when you go up the elevation, the flora changes. As per the flora, the birds and the butterflies also change. Now, in the species, we call them endemic species. Endemic in the sense, do you all know that what is endemic definition? This is found only there, nowhere else. So, it is controlled by the habitat, so it stays there only, and it does not go out of its habitat. It has its own boundaries, they will live there only, and they will not come down from the elevation. Climate and temperature, and as I told you, elevation changes as per flora and fauna. How many of you have visited Ladakh? So, next time you are still young, I narrowly got in because of age. After some time, if you people come to our age, you won't be allowed to go inside, because there is a problem there called acute mountain sickness. If you get that sickness, you will be simply sent down. You won't be allowed to go up. Okay. As geologists, we generally see this. So, it is a folded mountain chain. Himalayas are all folded mountain chains once upon a time, which was under sea. And if you go there, some places you will see marine fossils, marine shells, marine plants. Even you get fish fossils. Pahalgam, you people go, you will be on this side of the river, but next time when you go, cross the Ledar river, go to the other side, there is a wooden bridge there, and then on the hill slopes you get all these fossils. We have a center in Aishmokam where we are trained for 45 days, and presently due to extremist activity we are not using that center, but mostly these are the folded chains, folded and faulted. Now wherever there is a fault, you get these hot water springs. Right in Ladakh, hot water geysers, steam is coming out, and this is our target now, create geothermal energy. This is the green energy, very clean and very easily it can be done. He is our former Director General. We went in March. There is a coal belt in Kottagodam which is called Mangur coal belt, where we drilled boreholes to find out the extension of coal. How deep is the coal? Here, like that, next borehole, like that, several boreholes are drilled, and all the boreholes in this Mangur basin are giving out hot water, and this one is 68 degrees temperature water, and they have created one geothermal energy plant jointly with Singareni and some college in Delhi, where they are producing 20 kilowatt energy, and this is the first of its kind in India. And all the boreholes, see, this is another borehole, you can see here hot water coming out. This one is 82 degrees temperature, very hot. There is no pump. All the boreholes are artisan conditioned boreholes where water is coming out on its own, very, very hot. You can't touch the water here, and it goes, cools down in a small lake like area, and then they use it for their fields. But the villagers are using it for a very good purpose for them. Can you guess? They are using this hot water for something else. Pardon? Once I tell you, you will think, oh, why these people are doing that? It is so hot, no? They will cut a chicken, bring it, dip it in this water, and clean there itself, and take the chicken home. And I didn't photograph them, but everywhere you find these chicken feathers in clumps. This can become one geo heritage parks, where people can be invited to take hot water baths. So this water now is going just down like that, cooling down. Actually this is higher temperature water, but it is not accessible from the main road. We have to walk. You can see it, all that steam coming out, and then you have to walk. That's why they couldn't do it. But the one which they have presented is the vehicle just goes just beside the hot water borehole, and then they have put their plant. Probably they will do this also here. Now for the endemic birds. I am starting with the Himalayas. Leh Ladakh. This is called the black-necked crane, found in Ladakh, and it's a national bird of Ladakh, or the state bird of Ladakh. It breeds here. I have seen with chicks also, and I have photographs. Only found here in Ladakh. So if you people want to go to Ladakh, you talk to me later, I will tell you how to go. The hill pigeon. Does it look like our feral pigeon? It looks like our feral pigeon, but the moment it flies, it is completely white. So when you see in the air, there will be white pigeons flying. So this one is called the hill pigeon. Now on the way to Pangong or the Changla Pass, which is the third highest pass, you find this particularly small fellow, very inquisitive, and when you are there, it will be coming and watching you, why these fellows have come here. So it gives you a lot of opportunity to photograph. Being so small, It can kill a chukar partridge which is almost 10 times its size. All that it does is holds its neck and bites it off, and the chukar partridge dies. Himalayan marmot. Now this is a prey to the snow leopards in Ladakh. At some part of the year, the snow leopards come down, and this one is a big rat-like thing, huge one, and they become the prey for them. This is again a hill goat, locally called baral, which is blue sheep. There is a park there called the Hemis National Park, where you can see this. If not, they will be high on the hills, peeping from ledges. The Tibetan wild ass, locally called the kayang. A small rat which is called pika, Ladakh pika and the royal pika. These are food for the most elusive Palacis cat. Make hay while the sun shines. So in the summer, these things will be running here and there, picking up grass, taking and hiding it in their holes. Actually, this one was just coming towards me, but I don't know why suddenly it took a turn and then went and hit somewhere. This is another one which is very small, called the voles. And while we were returning, all the 10 days when we were there in Ladakh, I couldn't see this one, but while coming back on one of the Ghat roads, we were photographing some other bird, and this one was just in front of me on the Ghat road. Again, collecting grass and taking it. Most endemic, the red foxes, the Tibetan wolves. This is the Palacis cat. You don't get any telecommunication or cell phone connectivity the moment you start climbing up. There are poles, but of no use. And this one is a raven, common raven, which is found here. The Eurasian eagle owl, another endemic bird which is called the little owl. All these things you can see them only in the mornings. I am on the top of the world. The third highest motorable road in this one, it's called Changla, and this is the 12th highest pass. Now we come down to the Western Ghats. Most of the birds here have their unique names connected with Malabar. This is a hornbill which is called the grey hornbill, the Malabar trogon, the male and the female, the Malabar giant squirrel having its free drink of coconut water. There is a sanctuary in this place in Kerala where you find this Nilgiri tar. It's called Erviculam Sanctuary, where they take you on a vehicle and drop you on the hill, and then you find these things walking along with you. Again, a Malabar whistling thrush. Can anybody tell me what this bird is? It's a myna. There are several mynas, and this one is the jungle myna. A common hill myna, which is, this one imitates even human beings also. It can talk. Now for the one bird which I will be showing you, and last I will be asking you a question. This one is a bulbul as a species, and in India there are 22 bulbuls, starting with from the Himalayas, called the Asian black bulbul, again endemic to the foothill Himalayas. The Himalayan bulbul, again endemic to the foothills of Himalayas. The red-vented bulbul, the white-browed bulbul, the yellow-throated bulbul, the Andaman red-whiskered bulbul. See, it looks similar, but the size will be small and this is a subspecies. On land, you find this bird, again a red-whiskered bulbul. From Kerala, you find this flame-throated bulbul from the Western Ghats, the endemic Himalayan foothill bulbul, which is the striated bulbul, the yellow-browed bulbul, the Andaman bulbul, another variety of Andaman bulbul, the grey-headed bulbul, white-eared bulbul, black-crested bulbul, and the remaining bulbuls. I have myself photographed 10, and I am going to Karnataka, where I will get that square-tailed bulbul. So, I am hoping I will photograph that also. Now, my question is, which one of these bulbul is an invasive species? One is a very ferocious invasive species. You want to see them again? Nicobar bulbul nobody can see because we can't go there, no?
Yeah,
They don't allow you there.
That's why
It's an invasive species. It invades everything and it lives happily. Okay, I will take it back. Black crested bulbul, white eared bulbul, grey headed bulbul, the Andaman bulbul, the yellow browed bulbul, the Himalayan foothills bulbul, which is striated bulbul, the flame throated bulbul, the red whiskered bulbul. Did you see this bird anywhere? From tomorrow onwards, you will start seeing this bird only.
All of you have seen it and you see it every day.
You see it every day.
You see it every day.
And this is the one which will be calling in the mornings. And it is the most ferocious invasive bird. Commonly found all over India, not only India, in several other countries. It is the red vented bulbul. You can see the tail, that is its vent, and it is red in color. And in several countries, they wanted to completely exterminate this bird because it doesn't allow any other birds to live around. It will be attacking, fighting with them, all sorts of things these things do. It is a commonly seen bulbul all around in Hyderabad. Not only Hyderabad, anywhere in India you go, it is there. This one is photographed in the foothill of Himalayas. You come down anywhere in any state, you will find this bird. And see the competition there. The honey bees are trying to take nectar from these flowers, which are cotton flowers. And this bird is also trying to eat that. So try to see all these bulbuls. You can see some of these bulbuls here, which are that white browed bulbul and many other bulbs, all bulbuls around the Hyderabad city. Thank you for your patient hearing. So first homework, you see my documentary on, what's the title I told you? Rock Treasures. They are in 5 parts, and all the 5 parts you can see. You will see the whole of South India. Thank you.
Just curious to know, you were talking about a lot of birds, right? So, does any of the birds have GI tag or something like that? Any rocks have GI tag?
I don't know whether there are GI tags. Actually, all these national monuments which we have, they have to go through a legislation which was to be passed very recently in the parliament. Just like Archaeological Survey of India has their own place archaeological sites which are protected. There will be a board. Our people go write the girlfriend's name, the boyfriend's name, put a heart there, all sorts of scribbling. It's not allowed actually. And some of these national monuments, when you go, you visit and see the beauty of it. They are unique rocks. They are not GI tagged, but there is one bird which is collared, which travels all the way from Siberia, comes to India, flies all the way from India, and then non-stop it flies from here into Somalia, into Africa, and then goes down to South Africa. Then again comes back, flies over Indian subcontinent, reaches Siberia again. So about 5 to 6 are already radio collared. You can see them on the net, where each bird is moving, where it is going, where it is coming back. So all that routes you can see. So this bird was first radio collared. Before radio collaring, what the Nagas used to do is, the moment it comes back from Siberia, it flies at a long distance, and then all its fat reserves are gone. So nobody catches that bird. And in Nagaland, it starts eating termites, whatnot, everything, builds up its fat resources, and then as a group fly all the way, crossing the Indian subcontinent and even the Arabian Sea, and then landing in Somalia. But again, when it reaches there, again its fat reserves are gone. But Somalia is a country where you cannot catch the bird and find out what its weight is and all that. But it flies down to South Africa and then again comes back. So if you people want to go to Ladakh, there is a place called, site called BHNS, Bombay Natural History Society. Go to their site and they have an yearly calendar, and if you find that there is some place which you want to visit, you just say I am interested. Then they start telling you what to do, what papers to submit. They take care of you very well, and most of you, if you are a member of the Bombay Natural History Society, it's very nice, easily, comfortably you can go, and then they arrange everything, right from your food, travel, hotels, everything is taken care of, right from Leh airport to back to Leh airport. They again leave you at Leh airport, you take a flight and come back to Delhi. So go to Bombay Natural History Society, and then you can go to any place which are there in their calendar, and one of them will be this Ladakh.
What exactly do you mean by geotagging?
So, like, let's take Telangana as example. Nirmal Toys has GI tag.
Huh?
Geography.
GI tag.
Not geo, I know it, no, yeah.
GI tags.
GI tagging is normally done for any endemic crop or things of that kind, right?
So it can be done for crop and art. I'm just curious to know, is there any bird originated from particular place of India? So that
No,
No.
it's not done. It's not done. That's why I asked you the question of what you mean by geotagging. The concept of geotagging is not applicable to natural, species and things of that kind, because when you call them endemic, they are there because of the environment.
Habitat.
They are not a property of that particular country. You geotag a crop or you geotag a heritage site, right? A cultural heritage site. But these are natural resources that no boundaries. Say for instance, the bird is talking about is the Amut Falcon. The Amut Falcon starts from where?
Siberia.
It starts from Siberia, falls right down to Nagaland, feeds itself, and then flies to Somalia, goes back again to. So when they are in Nagaland, they belong to Nagaland. So they're not property of any country. See, that is it. Let us appreciate these political boundaries are non-existent in nature. This is something that, you see, that's why I am a little skeptical about modern science for various reasons. One of them is your plastic bottle. I thought this is the most backward thing that has come into the world, thanks to our white masters. The concept of, where was I? This whole concept of boundaries is something that this is the limitation of the human mind that is going on. They don't exist in nature. They just don't exist in nature. For instance, I think now that available on Amazon, I would strongly recommend to you a book called The Art of Indian Asia by one. His second name is Zimmer. I don't know whether it's Henry Zimmer or I read the original hard copies and tables in my GSR library. Now, he talks, the title of the book is Art of Indian Asia. Now, let me tell you what Zimmer talks about. Because if you are talking of Indian art, it starts from the boundary of China and ends on the shores of Japan, which is the biggest Hindu temple in the world. Which is the biggest Hindu temple in the world? Just a minute. Ravi, be a little patient. I'm sure you were premature born. You refused to stay inside for 9 months. Okay, right. You know the biggest Indian Hindu temple in the world is Angkor Thom, which is in Cambodia. Built, my memory is failing me, built by a Pallavan king from South India. I think if you go Google search, now you can imagine that Hinduism was a very, very vibrant culture, and the influence, the very virtue of our culture has been that we have been, you know why we survived? We survived because we spread our culture. We did not capture physically. That's why, you know, we got, the moment we stopped using our human resources and we started using our physical mind and lost our physical mind, we became slaves. Afghanistan and all that are beautiful Indian. Afghanistan was a part of India. So Pakistan, you know, all of you know that Pakistan, Bangladesh, you know. But these are all political boundaries created by politicians for their own well-being. They don't exist. I mean, culturally also they don't exist. If you meet a Pakistani and you start talking, if I meet a Pakistani and start talking to him, he'll become friend with me because I talk Hyderabad. Nakkore, Jaure, Haure and all that. Isn't it? So there is no boundary between me and an ordinary Pakistani. So no. Culturally and in biodiversity, that's why we are talking of geoheritage. I think we can integrate the world with this. Right? No, we don't do that. We cannot.
One more question I would like to ask. So what do you think, what's your perspective on the advancement of this signals and all 5G and 6G? Are they really impacting the species?
Yeah, let's have a photo. Let's have one photo.
It's not good as
It's a bit clear for
even your sparrow is so sensitive.
which is the best way?
There is no